Ships at once. How about this? Leanne, can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Okay, so at this point, we do have 5 members. So we do have a quorum. I suspect that we will have more folks coming in as we go. So that being the case, Leanne, you can list this here. I will call this meeting to order at 4:32. Introcutions. Okay, roll call and introcutions we will do now. Don't worry, it's okay. So at this point in time, I'll go ahead and just say my name and you would say your position, and that's good enough at this point in time. So I am Abe Martinez, and I am currently chair of the Lake Stevens Library Board.
Andy Powers, board member.
Emily Stainbrook, board member.
Melissa Mafia, board member.
Go ahead and say it. Yeah.
Nancy Joao, board member.
Okay. And Leanne, can you speak to us?
Yes, I can. I'm Leanne Balberona, board member.
Good. I wanted to make sure that we had contact with you. I guess it's worthwhile to, why don't you call up to the microphone and just introduce yourselves? I know it's just so that we have it for public record and everything else. So.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Morales Tanner. I'm the manager of the Lake Stevens Library. And Lindsay Hanson, district manager from Snow Isle Libraries.
Excellent. Okay. We also have
Mary Dickinson, Lake Stevens City Council liaison for the library board.
okay. And since you're the only other staff,
Sure.
please.
Yep, I'm Caitlin Weaver. I'm the deputy city clerk.
Okay, there we go. And we may have some others. I do want to let Leanne know, we do have Joanne let me know that she was probably not going to be able to make it. I encouraged her to try to make it. She's out of town right now. So there's that. And then also Shaylin is running late. We still have Candace listed here, but I believe, and here we go. Shaylin is here. So you can, we don't have to do anything special for that. Candace is no longer on the board, actually. So, right?
Just turn that down. Yep.
So there we go.
There we go.
So, yeah, unfortunately, she moved out of the area, and so we no longer have her there. So, Shaylin, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh. I'm Shaylin Charvet Bates. I'm library board member.
Okay, and there we go. We've done the that. All right. The minutes, the approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to? Yeah. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes? Look over them beforehand. Okay, believe so. Leanne, I assume you did too. I know you got them early as well. So since you wrote them, anyway, if you want to just look over it real quickly, if there's anything in particular that if you any changes, any addendums, anything like that.
Oh, there's one, I see there's, it says Emily Powers, it should be Stainbrook.
Boy, there we go. Okay. You didn't know that you.
Hey, I'll leave something for someone to find, right?
Okay, and that is on page 2 of 4. It's under board secretary. It says Emily Powers seconded the motion. That's the second to last there. So anyway, if you just make that correction.
I'll correct it. Sorry.
Okay. Everything else that I think I should have seen that myself. I was, by the way, I still see under Lake Stevens Library Report, and you helped me out here. It says the library has reached out to the local school district, especially HomeLink, and it says Home Lineck. I don't know. Is it supposed to be HomeLink? Okay, so it's just this. If you have that, Leanne, the C, it should be a C instead of an E there. As we
Just make L-I.
I'm sorry, like K-I, sorry.
No E.
And yeah, there you go. Sorry. Not, yeah, you do it correctly. Just do the. I don't spell any better
You
than.
have 10
So anyway,
more.
okay, sorry. There you go. Everything else, we're looking pretty good. I don't believe that we had it. All right. Thank you very much for doing this now. If there are no other changes, anybody see anything else? Okay, typically speaking, what we do is we just approve them by unanimous consent rather than doing a vote. So unless there's somebody who differs with that, okay, upon unanimous consent, the minutes are submitted. All right. We have some new business. First of all, I would like, Nancy, could you just briefly introduce yourself to the board and just a little bit of how long you've been here in the city? Because last time you had to be out in kind of the audience. So let us know a little bit about yourself and then we'll go through with the swearing in, okay?
My name is Nancy Joao and I've lived in Lake Stevens for close to 40 years, but it wasn't the city all that time. I volunteer at the Lake Stevens Historical Society and Montevideo also. I love libraries. I love reading. Instilled that in my son and my grandson, and I'm glad to be here. Just to make sure we keep a library in the city, a functioning one, because it's so important. And I love the reports that you give. I read it, all the things, but I'm not aware of all the things that the library is doing, being just a citizen. So this is great to hear all the things that are being done. Background, basically always worked in inventory, different places, JCPenney's, Boeing. Retired now for many years. Yeah. One son, one grandson, one daughter-in-law. They all live in Monroe.
All right. Well, we're,
Baseball.
I love it.
Sox won today.
They did.
Yes.
Yes. Nancy gave me fair warning. She said I should be there on time unless the Aqua Sox go into extra innings.
It was an 11 o'clock game, so it was pretty short.
That's a pretty serious fan there, though, I gotta say. Anyway, but okay.
Great, yeah.
Good. All right. All right. Well, if the Aqua Sox ever need volunteers, I suppose you'll be right there along with them. But anyway, maybe we can work something out with the Aqua Sox and the library board or the library.
They have a reading program usually.
Do they?
And the
Oh,
kids, they read books and they can win. Or get
Oh, there we
tickets to
go.
games. They've been doing that for years.
okay. Well, there we go. Good to know. All right. So I think we need to move forward. And
Yep.
so take it away.
Are you ready for your oath?
Sure.
Okay, so I state your name,
I, Nancy Joao,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and state of Washington
and the state of Washington
and the ordinances of the city of Lake Stevens,
and the ordinances of the city of Lake Stevens,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge the duties of a library board member. Perform and discharge the duties.
discharge the duties of a library board member
Wonderful. According to the law
according to the law
and to the best of my ability and understanding.
and to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Yeah, there we go. So welcome. We really are glad that you're here. Having said that, as you can see under new business, we still have one open seat on the library board. Nothing has been done since the last meeting. I did reach out to the city. We had some scheduling issues with the other folks on the city council in order to make that happen. I will promise to just kind of make reminders much earlier. There was a lot of busy stuff going on early in the year. And so as it got closer, we had just a few weeks and we couldn't make it work with the city council members who needed to be there. So that being the case, I don't even know if we have applicants for the board at this time. We did originally have 3 in the last round, but I don't know that any of those showed any interest afterwards. Let me check something here. Not seeing a way for me to turn on my mic to present. Okay, that is from Melissa Nat. So you might want to, is there,
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring her into the meeting. So that she's a panelist.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Good, so now she should be, okay. She says thanks. There we go. All right. There we go. I see her now. All right. So that is the case. Please get the word out to friends that you may know, who are friends of the library board, or of the library perhaps, however that might be. Speaking of which, that's a good transition, I guess, to our first of the reports, which conveniently enough would be the Friends of the Lake Stevens Library. And Melissa, once again, you are presenting, so go ahead.
Hello. Sorry, I couldn't get all that figured out. Yeah, anyway, glad I'm here now. We don't have a lot to present to you this month. We are going to be participating in the Pride Festival coming up in June. I think that's on the 24th. I'm not sure if that's, Mary says yes. Yes, that's on the 24th. Our Vice President, James Harmon, will be attending that with maybe one or two other volunteers. We had our first quarterly book sale in March, and that brought in just about $1,700, which is really good considering we were hoping to make 500. We started just charging $1 for each book, and I think that's what the big difference is. Everything was $1. There were no 25-cent, no 50-cent books, so it obviously made a really big difference in that. We will be participating in Aquafest this year in the mill, and then we'll see how it goes after this year. Once we get the new library space, it's going to be a little bit harder to coordinate Aquafest and get all the books here and there. So we'll just kind of play it by ear after this year, see how that goes. And Dana wanted me to tell you that we have lots of gift baskets for sale in the library. And that's really all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for jumping in again last minute to cover for this. So I appreciate it. I
Not a
will say,
problem.
Jan, did you catch everything? Did you hear it? So that okay, thumbs up on it. Good. All right. So we have that. With that, let's move on to our next report from the managing librarian. Well, Snow Isle Libraries. You can take it away. Okay, there we go.
Antoinette will be more exciting, so I'll just get my system-wide report out of the way. All right, so just like last month, I'm following up with all of you on some larger system-wide updates. Last time we met, I shared with you about us exploring expanded library access at some of our libraries. So this includes things like holds lockers and also installing software and equipment to allow customers to access our libraries after hours when staff aren't there. So pretty exciting. We are initially exploring this at our Camino Island library, and that library will provide full access to the entire library after hours, probably everything except for 11 to 5 a.m. So that allows customers to come in and use the computers to print out items, to pick up holds. The way that that works is that there would be an application process, and then they would either get a code or a special ID or something that they would scan to come into the library. And there would be security measures in place to make sure that things were okay while they were there. So that's an exciting new thing for Snow Isle. Lots of public libraries across the country and internationally have done this. So we're interested in exploring. And of course, the benefit is that it provides more hours of library access for our customers. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes in Camino. So there's a lot of enthusiasm locally there. So yeah, we'll see how that goes and look at if it's successful, roll it out elsewhere. We have a couple of new library resources coming on board, a new auto repair database that's very exciting because it's available from home. Right now we have two, one's available from home and one isn't, and the one that's not is better. So it's going to be really great to have one that we can offer to our customers that they can access for anywhere, because as we hear from customers, you know, you want to be able to look stuff up at home when you're trying to work on your car. So that's great. I'm glad we'll be able to meet customer needs there. We also plan this summer to launch a database called Creative Bug. This is a really exciting one. It has tutorials and information for all different kinds of arts and crafts. So you can watch videos. It has step-by-step instruction. It has templates that you can download. So that's going to be really exciting for us to use in library programs and also customers to use at home or in our schools or elsewhere. So that's going to be really great. Watch for that one. I'm pretty excited about it. We are about to have our 2023 Trudy Sundberg lecture series. So this is an endowed lecture series on Whidbey Island. This year's speaker is pretty exciting. Nanoa Thompson, a native Hawaiian master navigator and explorer. He's an environmentalist. He's received some notoriety because he's the first person to navigate without using any modern tools in 600 years. So he's done voyages in traditional Polynesian canoes, and he will be talking about this voyage that they're about to undertake that will take 47 months, and they will circumnavigate the entire Pacific Ocean. So pretty cool, should be exciting. That is coming right up on Saturday, May 6th at 7:30 at the Whidbey Island Center for the Arts. So that's a free event. They're always really wonderful. So if you feel like taking a trip out to Whidbey Island, that would be a good opportunity. He seems really great. I watched some videos with him, so really highly recommend that. That brings me to our capital facilities updates. So as you know, we have a lot of projects happening, even including Lake Stevens. In Arlington, we needed to do some roof repairs, so that has provided an opportunity to also do some other updates in the library, including an outdoor area, study spaces, and a better teen and children's area. So that'll be really great for that community. They have a similar history of Lake Stevens also really wanting a new library and a better space. So this, bummer with the roof has provided an opportunity to make, some improvements to the existing library. So that's very exciting. In Darrington, if you recall, that's one of our two grant-funded projects that we're doing. So the library is currently closed with a temporary space up and running in that community. So similar to what we did here in Lake Stevens when we transitioned to our new building. The grand opening for that is scheduled for this fall. In Edmonds, there was a leak in the roof due to a rooftop garden area that basically totaled the entire library. So that library has been operating out of an auxiliary space owned by the city. And we're about to start the construction to fix that up. So that's going to be great. It's not just going to come back exactly as it was. It'll be new and improved. So we're really excited about that. Lastly, Langley is the other grant-funded remodel that we're working on along with Darrington. That library will be completely renovated with an additional basement added. So the basement area will include more shelves for browsing and a quiet reading area. And then upstairs, there will be a meeting room added and an improved children's area. And of course, it's a historic building, so we need to keep that in mind and make sure that everything is in keeping with that. The last one, Antoinette will give you the updates on, because that's the one that's near and dear to our hearts. Any questions about what I've shared with you, though, before I turn it over to her?
I have a couple of questions
Please.
quickly on Camano Island.
Yeah.
Can people who are not from Camano Island participate? Can you apply to, I don't know that I'm going to be out at Camano Island, but if I am, that seems like a kind of an interesting thing to experiment with.
We haven't gotten there so far, but I can't imagine that if you could get a card, anybody could apply for a card. So if you go through the process, all of our services are available to everyone in Snohomish and Island County. So yeah, we'd love to have you come, Abe. You want to,
Okay.
you want to, for the testers?
Oh,
Try it out.
Sure. Give it a shot. Next time I'm driving out to
Yeah.
Camino and
Okay.
cross
great.
that bridge,
We'll
and
keep you in
yeah.
mind.
Sure, okay. The other thing was, you said, one of the databases was Creative what?
Creative bug.
Bug. Okay,
Bug.
Bug,
You-
okay.
You know, like you get the creative bug.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay, well, there was just that, and then I commenting about Langley, that's an interesting, because I've been there, and that's a
Yeah.
historic building, like you said, so, but the library's doing the funding the renovations, I take it, it's still a city building or something like.
Yeah, and it's grant funded, so there were matching funds required, but we did receive a state grant for that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's city owned, so it's in partnership with the city. Right now, the basement is actually joint use, so we've been working really closely with the city on the whole project.
Okay, it's been years since I've been out there, but I remember it was a
You should
Cute
go see
library,
the
yes.
before and after.
good, I will do that. Well, wonderful, that's all I have. Any other questions?
Yeah, Sheila.
Do you have any lockers at any facilities right now? or-
Yeah, Monroe and Camino Island
Okay,
are two.
And how does that work? Could you?
Yeah, so if you put a hold on through our website, you'll see the list of places where you can pick them up. You might have it turned on to just
Yeah.
default to Lake Stevens or wherever you normally pick up, but you can get through that and go back to the big list. So there's express lockers
Okay,
for Monroe or Camino, and so that's the hold lockers. So
okay,
then the items go there and you get your little notification and you scan your card. If you've done an Amazon locker, it's very similar. Scan your card, pops open, take it, and you go.
okay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So does she like it? Yeah, yeah, it's great. So, yeah, so it's been working really well we've worked out a lot of kinks in those libraries, and now we need to look toward where else we might be able to put them.
Are those at other locations? I mean, the Monroe one, is it at the Monroe Library or is it somewhere else in the city?
Yeah, for the initial rollout, both of them are at the libraries because we wanted to make sure staff were on hand to troubleshoot, and there were issues in the beginning. So you would scan your card and nothing would happen or things like that. So we needed staff to be able to go and override that, but most of the kinks have been worked out now. So yeah, now it's possible to consider going other places. We still have to figure out, who would fill them, who, checks them if there is an issue, who do they call? Do we need it near a library? So yeah, some logistics need to work out, but it would be really exciting to put lockers where we don't have libraries so we could better serve people.
Is there a return there also to return books, or is it just a pickup?
Right now they're at the library, so yes.
Okay.
But in the future, ideally, yes, but we don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the drive-through return in Lake Stevens is famed and very much appreciated.
Yes.
I definitely understand that having that drive-through. I mean, we get returns in Lake Stevens that are from all over. I don't think it's people that would necessarily check out from Lake Stevens. So yeah, that would be pretty great. Maybe even better than picking up items.
It's just another convenience for customers. So
Yeah.
I love that. I hope we get more of those lockers.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Any other questions? Anything? Okay,
Okay, then
All right,
do we have
thank you.
drums for
All right.
Antoinette? All right.
Hi, everyone. I have a couple of last minute additions to Kaylin jumped. All right, we're talking about it.
Well, I can just have it up there for when you're
Totally
ready.
fine. I'll talk about the new building first. I literally got this information about 15 minutes before the meeting, which is why it wasn't included in your packet. This is and I have it on paper too, actually. I can pass these around. Nancy, if you just want to take one and pass it down. This is the site concept, the site plan for the new Lake Stevens Library, and y'all are the first people to see it. We have posted it up on the website. Melissa, I am going to be sending out an email to all of the friends with this information, so they will have it immediately after this meeting. I just have to hit send on my phone. But I wanted to go over a few things and talk to you about the site plan and how it all came to be. So the site plan is designed to protect the natural wetlands which are adjacent to the lot. So the entire lot is 4.62 acres. And you can kind of see it sort of in that back, that wetland buffer, and then there are wetlands adjacent to that. So we want to really make sure that we are preserving and respecting that buffer, and then also using our landscape design to plant native plants and replenish and enhance those wetlands. So we're really keyed in on protecting that space and making it better than how we found it. The entire design, as you can see, incorporates the 2 glacial erratic boulders while still providing ample parking for the community. I know that that's been a community concern. There isn't a ton of street parking in that area. We don't want to create any problems for the community there. So we're doing parking lot and traffic studies right now to determine exactly how many spaces we'll need when the library is at peak use. The building will be LEED certified, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. There's going to be a focus on stormwater retention, energy efficiency, and native plants, again, to support the wetlands there. Building design, when we get to that stage, will reflect the community's ideas and input. You can see in this phase that some of that input has already inspired the design of the outdoor learning space. We heard through a lot of our community conversations that an outdoor learning space was really important to the community. So it's one of the first things you see reflected here. As we move into the design phase, there will be opportunities for community engagement and feedback. So building work will be able to present some designs. They'll ask for community feedback in a variety of different ways, in person, online, et cetera, and then be able to incorporate that to really make sure that we are getting the library that our community wants. We really look forward to those conversations, to hearing more from the community as we move into the design phase, which we're hoping will just be in the next few months. Some of the other things that we've been working on since the last library board meeting for this plan, as I mentioned, the traffic and parking study, so that's going on now. Just last week, we completed a geotechnical survey, which is soil sampling to make sure that to get the composition of the soil so that we can lay the foundation. We cleared the homes in March, which I think all of you are aware of. I sent out the email. We've got some really great photos on our Facebook page and some video as well. So the site is completely clear now. The homes, outbuildings, concrete and asphalt and septic tanks were all removed in March. And in February, we had the Snohomish Fire and Rescue doing training on the homes before they were torn down. So it's sort of our reverse timeline there. They were able to do venting training. It was a wonderful partnership. I have spoken to several members of the fire department since then, and they are just really so grateful because both of those homes were very unique structures. They had different additions, different materials, and it was really important for the fire department to be able to practice on those things because those really mimic real world conditions, and to be able to do it in a non-emergency situation. They got every single one of their crews were able to train on the buildings. So it was really a wonderful partnership. We were really honored to be able to work with them to do that. So that's the timeline in reverse since the last board meeting. But are there any questions about the site plan or anything that anything about new construction? Yeah.
So you said something about the septic tank removal.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that because 99th Avenue Northeast, there's quite a few homes that I'm sure and businesses that are on sewer. Is that already in the works or how?
My understanding is that that will be part of the next phase of construction, is working on all of the utility lines to bring that into that space.
Okay.
So there is some, we call it kind of below ground construction. So we're in the phase of below ground construction, design, and then above ground construction. Right now, starting with the geotechnical survey, and then doing utility and things like that. So that'll all be all of the below ground construction. So several phases, some running concurrently, like design and underground construction, but a lot of things going on at the same time.
Just, I know that you just got this, but was there any word in terms of this particular layout, what the square footage might be?
We have not yet finalized square footage, but the goal is for it to be somewhere between 14,000 and 17,000 square feet.
Okay, here we go. Thank you.
Single story or double?
That is also still being finalized. And part of that is getting that information about the wetland buffer, where we can build, how we can build, while still preserving and enhancing that space. And so there are some physical limitations there on the property that we're still working within those parameters and guidelines to make sure that we understand where that buffer lies. That's going to decide sort of how the building sits, like, and, you know, whether we build up or out.
Rooftop garden?
It flooded in Edmonds. Do you want one?
Never again.
That's not happening.
Maybe if it was, you know, like fake plants.
Yeah, there we go.
No water at all.
Yeah, good point there. Okay, well, wonderful.
Any other questions about site plan, construction?
One other thing I thought of, when we're talking about rooftop garden, that outdoor learning. I would think it would be really important, because I think that's great and so important, but to have it a covered area because of our weather, that, I mean, we're looking at, what, 6 months of the year that we might have rain, and so that's gonna limit people going out there. So if there's a way to cover a portion or.
I believe that will be part of the next phase of design. So this phase currently is basically where things will be, not what they will look like. So there may in fact be a cover like in design for that space, just based on this graphic, you're not seeing it. So when we reach that design phase, that would be like one of the things where we would have the community engagement opportunities and you'd be like, hey, that might not have a cover on it yet. Let's put one on there, but they may in fact have already been just, you know, that may be on their radar already.
All right.
And then are there any, are you ready for any new permits from the city? Or are you at any, are there any outstanding permits that you're waiting to hear back from that? I'm just looking to move this further along as fast as possible. So I'm wondering if there's any place, anywhere that could be sped up a little bit to move it along.
I'm not sure. I can ask. I don't think that there is any holdup anywhere. The city has been incredible partners on this all the way through. And I know that building work, our architecture team and our capital projects team met with the city in late March to walk through the permitting process and learn all we can. I think right now we are doing like the geotechnical surveys, the traffic surveys, all of that information is going to go into a plan. And then there will be another phase of permitting that happens. I don't think that we are in a holding pattern right now, but I can find out and get you that information. But I don't think that we're in a phase where like, there's nothing not moving forward.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's probably a better way to say that, but everything is moving forward. That's better. That's more positive.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good. Well, this is great, and even something as, you know, as simple as this, trust me, this goes a long way. And hearing that about the possibilities of square footage, it makes it a little bit more of a reality. You know, I've heard little rumblings where people are making an issue of saying, we need a new library. And I want to say, we're getting it. I hope you get the word, you know, so I'll do my best, you know, to get the word out. But anyway, there's something to be excited about in that regard.
Absolutely. You know, I completely understand. It is a long process, but it's really important that we do it correctly too, you know, and things like the surveys and the studies do take time, but it makes sure that, you know, we're protecting our wetlands, that we're building a library that fits the community and will fit a growing community. And so it does, you know, running a sewer line, like all of the infrastructure stuff really does take a long time. And I'm super anxious. Trust me, I had kiddos spilling out into every part of the library today at Little Science Lab. And all I could think was like, oh, when we have the space for this program, you know. So I see it every day. You know, the demand is there for a larger library and the need is there. We'll get there.
Yeah, good.
We're moving forward.
Wonderful. That's good to hear. All right.
So I do have the rest of the report. If you'd like me to read through it, you have it there. If there's anything that you wanted me to highlight or talk about. I did a breakdown of our January through May programming there for you. This is Month of the Military Child. Lake Stevens School District has the highest number of military children in Snohomish County. So we've been partnering with the Naval Station School Liaison to get some information out. We've got a really great display up supporting our military families in the library. We also have a really exciting partnership with College of Hope that I'd really like to highlight. So College of Hope, which is an arm of Housing Hope, has partnered with Snohomish Libraries. They're offering monthly programs at the Lake Stevens Library, the Snohomish Library, and the Marysville Library. The programs are free. They're open to teens and adults. They cover a wide variety of topics, everything from mental health to art to parenting to financial literacy, you name it, they have it. The classes are free. They provide a free lunch at the classes. They provide free childcare, and they provide free transportation if you need it to get to the library, which is really incredible. It's a fantastic partnership. The programs have been really well attended at all 3 libraries, and we're really excited to be able to offer that every month. So I really wanted to highlight that. That's a really great program. We also just wrapped up Primetime on Tuesday. They had a great party, and our Library on Wheels bookmobile came since it was offsite at Stevens Creek. So the kids were able to check out library materials using their brand new library cards. The program went really well. As you know, it was our first time doing this in Lake Stevens, our first year. So we had a lot to learn. We had wonderful partners in Stevens Creek Elementary, and it was really a great program. We had 12 families, 24 kids participate in the program and complete it all the way through. And we even had families who were so sweet and brought flowers for the staff to say thank you. They enjoyed the program so much. So we know that it was a really successful program, and we're hoping to partner with more elementary schools in the future to do it again. And then I just want to remind everybody that summer reading is coming starting June 1st. Summer reading theme this year is all together now. We're looking at having some really exciting summer programming, including one that I'd love for you to put on your calendars now. It's July 8th. We're doing a large program over at the Boys and Girls Club. It's going to be called Myths, Legends, and Stories with Percy Jackson. We're going to have some professional storytellers come in, some different arts and crafts stations for the kids, and it should be a really good time. So that's going to be our really big summer program, and then we're going to have other partnerships happening throughout the summer.
Okay.
That's pretty much it for me.
Well, that's a good one. It's a good one. And thank you very much. Yeah, that's really great. On the Housing Hope College, where could we find out more information about that? Just
you can register on the website. So if you go to the Snohomish website and you click events, you can just type in College of Hope and they'll all come up. You can see which ones are at Lake Stevens or Snohomish or Marysville. You do need to register with College of Hope, so it'll take you to an Eventbrite website to register because they need numbers for their planning. But that all stays with them, and then then they know exactly how much to bring for lunch and how many people need childcare and transportation.
okay, good. And all right, I'm sure that I could find out more from there. So thank you.
I can also walk you through it. I
Yeah.
can hang out here and walk you through it.
Oh, yeah, it'll be good. Other questions, comments, anything? All right, we're doing good. All right. Thank you. Thank you both very much. That was really excellent. Okay. Normally we would have a report from the city, but and our city council member may absolutely do that. Mary, if you would like to take a few moments, or do you have anything, Caitlin, that you're going to be presenting to us?
She looks like she does.
Oh, it looks like.
Well, as the mayor's assistant, I was sent with some things to bring, so hopefully that's okay. Just super brief, we have a lot of things, large scale projects that we're working on at the city. We have a climate action plan and a housing action plan. We've been taking in community feedback, and those are some really large projects that the planning division is working on. We also are doing a 91st area study as far as that retail area and looking at development there, and ways to sort of improve that street and bring in more business and make it more accessible for shoppers, as well as the industrial area study. So those are also all out of our planning department. We do have the farmers market that's going to start up in June, which we're all really excited about. And one of the pieces that I'm working on is a mill spur kind of grand opening, maybe on the first farmers market. So bringing the whole community together and everyone who's worked really hard to get this done and ready and accessible. We're hoping to do a ribbon cutting. So more to come on that.
Yeah.
And Mary?
Well, just about the Pride event, but you talked about that already, so I think we're good. And yeah, we are. I'm really thrilled. I have to say, since you asked, I'm really thrilled with this wetland buffer mitigation plan. That is awesome. As Miss Antoinette would concur, I was a pain in the neck about that. Said, please reach out to the Conservation District. And they did. And it was really a wonderful relationship we built together. It makes me really happy. And the outdoor learning also is fabulous. Let's see what else. Oh, we got Earth Day. It's coming up at Eagle Ridge Park on the 22nd of April. And it's an opportunity for people to help with pickup. So it's a service. And if that interests you, or if you have kids that need service hours for anything that they're involved in, Scouts or whatever, they might want to reach out to the city and sign up to do that. They would have to have a liability waiver to make sure they're okay in case they tripped or something like that while they were there. But there are things happening in the city that are getting kids involved, and that's what I really like to see. So those are the two big things that jump out at me now. Of course, there's more to come.
Yeah. Well, Caitlin, thank you very much for coming prepared with that. Sometimes I know it can feel like jumping ahead. Go ahead.
One more city announcement. Can I jump on?
Yeah, come on up to the microphone so that we've got it.
I'm on the community transit work group, and I just wanted to remind everyone, if you haven't already, to fill out the transit survey. We've linked to it on our Facebook. We've got hard copies at the library. Please let people know that they should fill it out. This is basically just how you get around Lake Stevens, where you live, where you're going, how you get there. Not whether you take community transit, really any kind of transportation. The more information we have, the better plan we can come up with, because we're looking at a micro transit solution for Lake Stevens. So please share it with your neighbors. Please come to the library if you want to take some to your workplace and hand them out. I have them in English, Spanish, Russian, and Ukrainian. We really want to make sure that we're reaching everyone in the community that we can. So please take that back to your respective colleagues and friends and neighbors, and make sure they fill out that survey.
All right. Leanne, did you catch all that? Good. All right. Let me make sure that you know what all that was about. Good. Excellent. All right. Again, so Caitlin, thank you for coming prepared with a list of things.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay. Well, that being the case, I have opportunity for board comments. And also if you have some generalized questions, if something popped into your mind or something like that, because as a result of the reports, please, this would be the time to do that. So I just kind of go around the table here. I'm going to actually start online. Leanne, do you have any comments or anything you want to say? Are you there? You're thinking about it? I guess she's okay. Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to find the chat button to say that the sound is gone off mostly.
Oh,
Did you catch that? Anybody?
can you hear us now, Leanne?
I think the images.
Barely.
Okay. Do you have any comments that you were looking to make on board comment?
Sure. My comments just would be that this library report really, to me, it really brought home the idea that the library is more than books. All these different programs that the library is hosting and partnering with are such important things for our community. And especially the College of Hope and the Prime Time, which we heard about at the last meeting, really impressed with those programs. And I'm going to read up some more about them in my regular job at my church. I also help with the outreach program. And so that's like a food bank, and we do utility assistance, rental assistance, that kind of thing. So that's something I'm going to look more into, because I think maybe not everybody's heard about those programs. So really impressed with what our libraries are offering the community. That's it.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, Nancy, it's your first time to have the opportunity to speak. You don't have to say anything, but if you have any kind of comments that you would like to make.
Thank you for welcoming me, and again, thank you for your report. It's so interesting to hear what the library is doing.
All right, and Melissa.
Feels good to be back in person, and just so exciting to see it on paper. I've seen lots of site plans in with my job, and to see it's happening like that's like it's, you know, I'm a very visual person, so I like to, and it's so exciting that it's like hot off the presses, and that it's really all the years of so many of your, you know, that you guys have tried for and wanted. It's very, very exciting. So
Yeah, okay. Andy?
Yeah, it's been a long time, you know, that I've been on board, and so it's neat to see the building finally starting to take shape.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. And you have seen a lot of site plans in your job as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, what you
It's
do.
nice to be able to take your time, you know, a lot of times people are in a hurry and maybe it doesn't get done, you know, the right way.
Good for you. All right. All right, let's start on. Let us know. I'm sorry, we're just board members here, so go ahead, Jalen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do have a question that I was hoping the city could address, is the property next to the library. And I was just wondering if there had been anything further on that. I don't know if you have any information you can share, but I'm most curious about that right now because I think it needs to complement the library in such a way. And I think that we have been told that that is going to happen, but I don't know if you have any information or if that can come at a later time.
The city clerk's office does not have any information on that, but I would be more than happy to bring that question back and see if we can get you some more information.
Okay, that would be great.
Sure.
Yeah, and I would just like to reiterate that, or I would like to state that we have lost so many parks in Lake Stevens since the board took that vote on that Chapel Hill property. And I just, it saddens me to think that the city owns a piece of land that is prime for a park that could be used for that purpose right now. So those are my board comments, that I think that we need that land to be complementary to the library. And I think that we are desperate need of parks in this city right now. Thank you.
And Emily, I did have a brain freeze. I was looking at you and saying, I can't remember your name, and I was excited. Go ahead. Yes, you have any comment?
I was just gonna second everything that everybody has said. So yeah, the support is awesome to see that this is taking shape, and I'm just excited to see what happens next.
Okay, excellent. Okay, and for my comment, I just want to, I had an interesting situation this week where I was talking with a coworker who has come from a foreign country. Her educational status is called into question because they, you know, whatever, American standards or whatever. So she just wanted to get a GED. She's very literate and everything else. It shouldn't be a problem. And the company offers, you know, different types of educational services and things. And I thought, but she said, oh, but I'm part-time and they don't offer it to us. And I'm like, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm sure there's something through the library, you know, and of course she had no idea of this. You know, one of the things was West African country. I don't know what library services are like for her or whatever else like that. But nevertheless, you know, it was a situation where it just came to my mind, of course, and you know, and I assume that, and so I said, look online at first, or for goodness sakes, I mean, she lives in Marysville. I said, walk into the library, just ask somebody there, and they'll probably put you online, but that's okay, whatever. But the point here is that that's what it's for. And once again, it was one of those things that I just understand that not everybody thinks like me. Nobody, I don't know how many people just think library when they think, okay, lifelong learning, where's it available? How am I going to connect to those kinds of resources, that kind of thing. And I think it's a reminder of the value of a library in our community and what you are tasked with doing. And I thank you for that. I thank Snow Isle for being a resource that, you know, reaches communities besides our own. And so anyway, so thank you very much. Again, that's the only comment that I have, and thank you for the update so far. So if there's nothing else, no other questions, I'll go ahead and ask for a vote. Oh, wait, do you have another comment?
I always have another comment. I just wanted to say,
Okay.
thank you for coming to the meeting when we were discussing Chapel Hill. It really meant a lot to me to see how many library supporters were out there to talk about that piece of land that they call a purple spike. So don't ask me what that means, but it's a valuable piece of land. I hope that they would listen to you. You know, I'm listening to you. Whatever is decided at the end of the day, I'm listening to you. I want you to remember that. And it's really important to me as well that there's an echo across the way from where the library is going to be, so that it feels like it belongs together, whether it's a park or what it is. But I'm only one vote, sadly. But I will be vocal about it. I just want you to know you're not alone.
All right. Well, we thank you. All right. So I think we've pretty well wrapped up at this point in time. Thank you so much. I will take a vote. We can adjourn at this time. All those in favor, say aye. We got that online, and of course, nobody's there to say no. So we will call the adjournment at 5:24, with our next meeting being July 20th. So thank you all for being here.